What's going on, guys? Welcome to the return of the Daily Dose again. This week, we're bringing Daily Dose back, and this whole week we're actually going to be doing E3 week. So every day this week we will have a discussion about a company or a developer and their conferences of E3. So today, Monday, we will start with Xbox. Tomorrow, Tuesday, will be PlayStation. Wednesday will be Nintendo. Thursday will be the publishers and developers such as EA, Bethesda, and Ubisoft. And then Friday we'll do just kind of an overall encompassing the whole show, just like the last, final, rumors, expectations, what we'd like to see, what we think we'll see, and predictions and stuff like that. And if I remember right, so starting with Microsoft today, if I remember right, I think Microsoft's, I know it's the Sunday before the week of E3. I think it's June, it's like 12th or 13th, somewhere right in there. I know it's like somewhere right in there, so don't quote me. I just know that it's the Sunday before E3. And if I remember right, I think EA's conference is actually earlier that day, and then Microsoft's is later on. So getting right into what I would like to see, hands down, I think it's a pretty safe bet to say as well, the Project Scorpio, right? I think it's a pretty safe bet that we should finally see what it looks like. We should finally get a release date, and we should finally get a price point as well. I mean, I can't remember how long ago it was. It was definitely over a month ago, maybe like a month and a half ago, closer to 2 months maybe. When they confirmed and came out with the specs of the Scorpio, and just on paper the specs blows even the PS4 Pro out of the water. And I got the PS4 Pro about a couple months ago, and that thing is incredible, especially like Horizon Zero Dawn looks phenomenal on it. And speaking of Destiny 2 real quick, from what we heard from the Destiny 2 gameplay premiere this last week, that game looked phenomenal on the PS4 Pros that they had at the event, what a lot of content creators played it on. So at Microsoft's press conference, obviously to top it off, I hope we see the Project Scorpio, which I think we will. I think we should even get a release date and a price point. As far as the price point is concerned, I was telling Homicidal this the other day. I think that they can't get away with going any higher than like 450, because like right now the PS4 Pro is 4, and since it is way more powerful than the PS4 Pro, I think that they can get away with going slightly more than that. But I also think that they're shooting themselves in the foot if they go any higher. But with that being said, me personally, I think I can see it being at probably $499 is kind of my prediction. I also kind of wouldn't be surprised if it's maybe like 550 even, and like I said, if it gets any higher than that, then they're really shooting themselves in the foot, because they're touting the Scorpio as the most powerful console ever, that it's near PC standards. And the thing is you can, for not much more than that, for that $499, for not much more than that, you can build a pretty decent PC, in the $600 to $800 range. So, if they're pushing it up that high, it's almost like, and PCs are still going to be, a lot more powerful than the Scorpio. The Scorpio is, if the Scorpio is what the specs that they came out with, it is going to be the most powerful console ever made. Homicidal Lou says they will attempt it, but it's a high risk. It is. I mean, Microsoft, they have to handle this delicately. I mean, Sony last year rushed to get the Pro out. Like the Scorpio was kind of starting to be rumored and announced, and then all of a sudden Sony's like, "Oh yeah, here's the PS4 Pro," and it came out like a couple months later. Like Sony couldn't get it out onto shelves fast enough. And Microsoft has this added benefit of it coming out a little over a year later. I mean, as far as release dates, the only thing that we've heard is holiday 2017. So with that being said, I mean, I could see it being more, maybe sometime after Black Friday, like kind of early December, late November, possibly. Take it within, Homicidal says, take it take it within what's being used in Scorpio. The graphics drive itself will cost a lot. Exactly. I mean, what we saw in the specs, that hardware that's in there, it's incredible hardware. Like how I said, you know, I can see it being at like a $500 price range. I think even at like a $499, like $500 price range, I think that they're even still taking a hit on that on every single console, because I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, production costs, but the hardware that's in that, like, and here's the thing: anytime you see any like interview that Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, has done, he keeps using the word premium. You know, it's a premium console. It's more for like die-hard gaming enthusiasts. You know, not the like more kind of casual gamer that doesn't play games too much, but will get a console, you know, here and there. So it almost seems like that he's kind of bracing the community for maybe a higher than usual price tag. I mean, even the I think it was the Xbox One. I think I don't quote me on this, but I think when it first launched, I think it was actually 500, wasn't it, or was it 4 that I'm thinking? So that's what makes me kind of believe that the Scorpio could even. I mean, I kind of would not be surprised if we even see like a 599. But like I said, if it's getting up to there, like I said, they have to handle it very carefully. Homicidal says whether or not if they pull it off will determine the outcome. If they will make a profit or if they will plummet to the ground profit-wise. Exactly. I mean that's the dice that they're rolling. So I mean, E3. I don't know. I think E3 is going to be so good this year. Not even just on the Xbox side of things. I mean, the Xbox. I'm really stoked for their conference. I mean, an interesting thing about this E3 too, also for the first time ever, it's actually a public show, so there's actually public in there instead of press and all that as well too. And getting up Scorpio for a second, another thing Microsoft really has to focus on this E3 is their exclusive lineup, their first party titles. That has been the hit against the Xbox One this generation. I mean, Sony has had a damn good lineup of exclusives this generation, and that's easily why they're winning. Wholehearted, you know, just hand over fist over. I think they're somewhere around the like 40 something million, almost 50 million PS4 sold range, somewhere in that area. I mean, because the PS4 has had Uncharted 4, Horizon Zero Dawn recently, Ratchet and Clank. I mean, they've had a lot of really good first party and console exclusives. And the Xbox has, I mean, lately they had Gears 4, Dead Rising, ReCore was a first party, but it didn't really do too well. So Microsoft really has to, they have to do what Sony did at last year's E3. Games, right? I mean, Microsoft has to, I think they should open with the Scorpio, just be like, bam, you know, like here's this incredible console, here's the release date, here's the price, and now here's all these great games. Homicidal says they're working with thousands, if not millions of dollars currently. Oh yeah, it's I don't even want to know like how much money they've even put into it, and like in research and development and stuff for the Scorpio. And yeah, and pretty much like what you're saying with all the hardware that is in that console, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what it looks like, honestly. I mean, there was some pictures that leaked out of the dev kits that developers have, and it pretty much just looked like an Xbox One S with like a frame rate counter on the front. So it had like this digital like number reading on the front, which Phil Spencer did say that the Scorpio will not have. I kind of wouldn't be too upset if the Scorpio kind of looks somewhat like the One S, because I actually really like how the One S looks. But Microsoft does have some games and some exclusives and first parties in development. One that they're definitely going to show and probably focus a lot on is, oh my hell, I can't believe I just totally brain fried. Oh, Sea of Thieves, sorry. Yeah, the MMO kind of massive shared world pirate adventure Sea of Thieves, which there really hasn't been a ton shown of this game, like gameplay wise. I'm kind of predicting, and I'm really hoping, more than anything, that we finally see a lot of gameplay of Sea of Thieves at E3. Because Microsoft, that is kind of Microsoft's #1, like that's their top console exclusive right now that they have in their up their sleeve that they really have to nail. I mean, Scalebound was going to be that, but that game fell apart and was canceled like over a month ago or something, maybe a couple months ago by now. It's been a little while. So Microsoft definitely has to, you know, like I said, go really blow everyone away with the Scorpio, and then just games. Pretty much, like I said, what Sony did last year. Sony had a phenomenal showing last year, and Microsoft kind of has to do that. And Microsoft, I mean, it could be a good and a bad thing since Microsoft is going before Sony. Like I said, Microsoft's conference is on the Sunday, and if I remember right, I think Sony's is on the following day, on the Monday, I think is when it was. I'm not too sure. So, but now, as far as what I think is going to happen, like I said, I think the Scorpio, I think we'll hear a release date probably, if I had to put money on it, I would say late November, early December. I'm thinking, I mean, I've heard some people predict more like the September area. And I don't know, because when they say holiday 2017, I'm thinking more, a little more later than September, right? But, I mean, it easily could be that. So, I just kind of think, I don't know, because November, I mean, that's when you have, like, the Call of Duties, and you know, and those big yearly games come out. September, you have Destiny 2, which can really drive console sales. I don't know, so it's going to be really interesting to see. And then, like I said, as far as price point on the Scorpio, if I had to, you know, put a bet down on it, I would say that we probably see $499. But like I said, I kind of wouldn't be surprised if we see $599 either. I would like to think that it wouldn't go any higher than $599. I think even then, like I said, they're rolling some pretty risky, pretty sketchy dice at that point. So it's going to be interesting to see what Microsoft does with their conference this year. I'm trying to think. I know. Oh, another console exclusive too. Is it the Forza one? Actually, Forza is the only game that we've really seen running on Scorpio, and I never saw the footage, but I don't think it was like actual gameplay. I think it was pre-rendered footage, but you know, rendered using a Project Scorpio. So yeah, like I said, I haven't seen that footage yet though, but I have heard that it looks incredible. See, I'm not worried about that. You know, I'm not really worried about the Scorpio being incredible, you know, like performance wise, as long as there isn't any like kind of some of these weird issues and stuff that you get in consoles sometimes when that first generation, those first batches of a new console goes out. I mean, there's always been a lot of issues, like, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, but I don't know. It's going to be awesome to see. So that's pretty much going to do it for today's edition of the Daily Dose and the Xbox conference. Tomorrow we will be going over the Sony conference. If you want to join the conversation, you can stop by my Twitch channel. You know, we do this live at the beginning of every stream, Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's at twitch.tv/soldieronly. If you want to join the conversation, you can jump into chat. You know, like as you see, as I do, I read the chat out loud, you know, so you can be included in the talks as well. So thanks for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube later, hit that thumbs up button, sub to the channel for more content, and we'll see you manana.